Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, a local attorney, and what you're about to watch is pretrial. Now, pretrial is the third court event in the process towards resolving a criminal case. The first was first appearance, the next was arraignment. Now we have pretrial to determine if the case is ready to proceed to docket day and potentially trial, or if it can't be worked out through plea or even dismissed. At pretrial, though, facts are not as important as they are in other hearings. In this case, it's procedural. The judge is going to bring in their entire docket to make sure that the attorneys are doing what they need to do to get the cases towards a just conclusion. Some of the cases you'll see are older, some are newer. On the older ones, you may see some tension as the judges are trying to make sure the cases are moving forward, but the stakes are getting high. So that's what pretrial is. Let's go see what happens.
Awesome, thank you.
If you are the meeting host, please enter your host key followed by pound. If you are the meeting host, please enter your host key followed by pound.
When they changed the usernames, I used to just use generic.
We were going to.
Just wanted to make sure.
You had the paperwork. But he's gonna take it. Well, but he's not here. Is he not married?
I'm Mr. Norris's attorney.
Unlocked.
March 7th.
Keep on stepping out.
When you sign a PTI, how come you have to come? You redo a PTI.
Russell.
Case, it's Severio Sarah with a C-C-E-R-R-A Jr. I don't know if it's on that. Yeah, it's on that docket, not on the other docket. Your Honor, it's the second time up. I would just like another continuance. I'm going to be able to bring this in.
Wait, what's his
By
name?
the next time. Sarah, Severio Sarah with a C, C-E-R-R-A Jr. The clerk found it for me. I don't know.
All right, that's 23 CF 1616. You want to
That's
do,
correct.
you want a continuance?
Yes, Your Honor, it's only the second time up, and the state has no objection.
About, you want to go to April 22nd?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, I've got a few things to do, and that'll take care of it.
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask that this is the last continuance. I have had no communication with Mr. Geisel about this case in the last, since the inception of the case, so.
Well,
All right,
thank you, Your Honor.
get the case resolved, you can move it up.
Yes, sir.
Dustin Hersher?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Dustin Harsher on behalf of Kevin Josie. It's case number 22 CF 1289. Covering this case for Attorney Tony Henderson this morning, Your Honor. I believe there's a waiver on file from Mr. Josie. He's going to be requesting a continuance in this case. I believe there were some depositions set previously that two officers did not appear for that need to be reset.
That's correct. There's no objection.
April 22nd, is that good for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's at 9 o'clock again, Your Honor.
Yep.
Thank you, Judge.
Larissa Dudley?
The first case I have is Nathan Moorhill in 23 CF 1779. We're asking for a continuance. I'm going to file some motions based on depositions. So I ask for continuance to April 22nd.
No objection.
All right.
Next I have is Jarquez Drake. In 23 CF 1516, 21 CF 752.
All right.
We have a motion to unseal search warrant set for tomorrow, and I'll also need to file a motion to compel. I ask for continuance to the 422 pretrial.
No objection.
April 22nd, thank you.
I have Joe Fernandez, second, in 23 CF 1605. And I have him in one of his cases. The public defender has him in the other cases. I would ask for continuance. The state's going to talk to the victim about this case and see what we can get done.
No objection.
All right.
Then we get to
April
422.
22nd, thank you. Can y'all hear me on the back row? Thanks.
He needs to be held for Mr. Gibbs, so he still has cases.
Okay, thank you.
Go with that. Yeah, the next I have is Chase Glover in 22 CF 1170. I do have motions, but we were waiting on the fingerprint lab report, and we haven't seen that yet, so I asked for continuance.
No objection.
And I'll have my motions filed before next court date.
All right, April 22nd.
The next I have is Javon Harris in 12 CF 1490.
Judge, I have Mr. Harris on another case. She's got the VOP, I've got the underlying.
Yeah, I
Okay.
spoke with Mr. Williams about this case, and we're gonna get depositions set on the new case. So we're asking for a continuance to the April 22nd.
That's correct, Judge.
No objection.
All right, April 22nd, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And our next I have is Kenneth Harrison Jr. If I may approach with a Signed plea agreement. This is 21 CF 3248.
All right, this is State of Florida versus Kenneth Harrison Jr., 21 CF 3248, 24 CF 131. Mr. Harrison, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court's the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You want to admit in 21 CF 3248 that you violated probation, and the state's going to dismiss the charges in 24 CF 131?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
You aware the rights you're waiving by entering this admission?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this admission?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Dudley's done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds admission freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, adjudicates you guilty, reinstate original probation terms and conditions, $100 VOP fee. Okay? Thank you. And you're ordered not to violate the law.
Your Honor, I will submit the score sheet before the end of the morning.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, the next case I have is Matthew Hoover in 23 CF 1720. We just got another witness from the state, and I'm waiting on transcripts. I would ask for a continuance. We believe we'll try this next cycle.
Be what?
We'll try it next cycle if I can get
Okay.
continuance to the April.
April
trial.
22nd. Okay.
Thank you. The next case I have is Tashawn Morris in 23 CF 2394 and 22 CF 1436. Your Honor, we have deposition set on March 26th, so I'd ask for a continuance to the April 22nd docket.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor, next case I have is Deion Sanders, 21 CF 1943. We are working on setting up our last round of depositions, hopefully, and we are waiting to see when the medical exam is going to be available. She's been on leave since last year, so I'll ask for a continuance to the April 22nd.
No objection.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I believe that's all I have. Thank
See,
you.
that's how you do it. Just get up prepared, just get it done. Brad Stewart.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Brad Stewart, present. Judge, my first client is Matthew Bachman. There's two cases on the court's docket, 21 CF 2261, 23 CF 2528. Your Honor, he's incarcerated. If I can skip Mr. Bachman and move while we wait. My next client is Madison Beatty, B-E-A-T-T-Y, Judge. If we can leave that set for docket day, Judge, I anticipate no process will be filed prior to that.
Hang on one second.
Yep.
Matthew Brockman.
Matthew Bachman is present, Judge. Mr. Bachman obtained a new law violation, Judge. We're going to continue that to the April date.
How about it?
No objection.
Okay, April 22nd. Thank you.
Your Honor, my next client is Madison Beatty, B-E-A-T-T-Y. We can leave that set for docket day. We anticipate dismissal prior to that date.
Okay, that is March 4th, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All
Yes,
right,
Your Honor.
March 4th.
Your Honor, my next client is Mr. Dean Cook. Your Honor, Mr. Cook is present before the court. This is a case in which Mr. Cook was deemed non-restorable. Judge, I'm going to submit a court order to the judge this afternoon. I believe the state has no objection. He should be released this afternoon.
Yes, if we have the plan for, from Mr. Barnes, that's correct.
Judge, there
All
can't
right.
be a plan for Mr. Barnes, but I'll submit the same order that we submitted on the last case.
Wait, you said there's what now?
There can't be a plan for from Mr. Barnes. He is going to enter into a group home, Judge, with the Agency for Adult Persons. So
about
that is
that?
part of,
I'll leave you the order, Your Honor, and then
Well, look
We'll
at it
submit
and
it.
see, work it out.
Judge,
Okay.
it's the same order that we submitted last time. It'll be fine. We're good.
Again, we do this afternoon, Judge
Uh-huh.
Stewart? Okay, good.
Your Honor, my next client is Jordan Harris, 22 CF 2431. We have deposition set in April. We need to continue it.
April 22nd? Okay.
Your Honor, my next client, I'm listed as attorney of record for Michael Ring, Judge. This is a PTI recall with a misdemeanor new law violation. I would just request to continue this to April so that I can be retained on this and a new law violation.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
This should be just set for sentencing. He's already entered a plea to the
All
PCI,
right.
so March, would you prefer March or April?
April 22,
April.
if we can. We can advance it if you need.
Okay, well, I don't think it needs to stay on the pretrial docket when it's just a sentencing. Judge,
Oh,
can we
March
just set it-
7th.
I'm sorry,
March 7th?
that's fine.
Okay.
Very good. Your Honor, that's all I have before the court. Maybe excuse.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Bo Powell?
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
First matter I have is Tara Overstreet. There's a waiver on file, 23 CF 2032. Need a continuance. We're completing discovery and taking depositions. The state's not objecting.
All right, April 22nd.
Have Bryson Gurney. Waiver on file for Mr. Gurney. And asking for a continuance. The state's not objecting.
All right, April 22nd.
Thank you, Judge. Have Megan Allen Velez. Judge, we've got a final round of depositions to take. We've been kind of back and forth on dates for this last round, but asking for continuance. I don't believe the state has an objection.
We'd ask this be the last objection. Quite a while.
Last continuance, you mean?
Yes, sir.
All right, April 22nd.
Judge, I was also covering for Michael Griffith this morning. Mr. Griffith has Robert Sutherland.
All right, where is he?
I believe there's a waiver on file for Mr. Sutherland.
What you got? What do you want?
Mr. Griffith is asking for a continuance.
No objection.
April 22nd. Y'all aren't going to be able to have a spring vacation if you keep continuing all these cases. We got to get some of these tried.
Judge, I was also covering for Chris Garrett. Mr. Garrett has Benjamin Hoffman, and they do have a agreement reached. However, he's asking to put this on the March 28th date.
That's correct, Judge. There's no objection on the miscellaneous date.
All right, April 22nd.
Judge, I
If we put it on the miscellaneous day, it's going to be a PTI with a plea.
Okay, what about March 7th?
Do you have in their April miscellaneous date, Judge? He's an inpatient.
April 4th? That's a miscellaneous day, April 4th.
Let's put it on April 4th, please.
We got March 28th, if that's better.
April 4th, please.
Okay, April 4th.
Judge, I believe I had Cheryl Vick on the docket. This was a PTI fail-out, and asking to put this on March 28th for sentencing.
This is your case?
I believe I'm still listed on the docket.
Oh, yes. There's some dispute about that. So you want to put it on what, March 28th?
Yes, Judge, the last condition of PTI is an apology letter, and
All right.
we're hoping to get it resolved one way or
March
the other.
28th, okay.
Thank Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you. Randy Merrifield. Morning.
Judge, if I could take the cases under Mr. Flaherty first.
All right.
The first one is DeAndre Asbury in 23 CF 1060. There's a waiver on file. I'd like to set this one for plea or continue for 3-4.
March 4th.
Thank you, Judge. The next one is Derek Markheim in 23 CF 972. There is a waiver on file. ASA Glisson and I are continuing to work this case, so we'd request to put it on the 422 pretrial.
All right.
The next one is Robert Meza in 23 CF 2868. There is a waiver on file. Request to continue this to the April pretrial so that we can receive discovery.
April 22nd.
The next is Jonathan Stewart in 23 CF 1476. There is a waiver on file. Again, request the 422 pretrial so the state and I can continue working on this case.
No objection.
Just reset it.
Pretrial.
Okay.
Then the last case under Mr. Flaherty is Jared Titler in 23 CF 1311. There's a waiver on file. Mr. Titler's actually scheduled for 229 for entry of a plea.
229. Okay, very good.
And then I have one case that's under my name, Judge, and that is Paul Carroll, 23 CF 469. There is a waiver on file. We'd like to leave this one set for plea or continue for March 4th. And that was Mr. Carroll.
All right, March 4th.
I believe that's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we going to have that echo in business going? Mr. Arrowwood, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge. Jeff Arrowwood.
All right, who you got?
Judge, I have a Jeffrey Gunter, Gunter,
All right.
21 800.
Okay. Which
Judge,
one?
we handed in, the state made an offer in this case. I had my client sign the admission to the violation, and we submitted it to the court. The court should have a copy of that.
I don't have that paperwork. Does the state have that?
Judge, I received the email saying the plea was filed, but I don't see it on benchmark. The email. I know the terms that were reflected are correct. This one's a little bit interesting because it led to a second VOP in November, but the inpatient treatment that was indicated wasn't actually an inpatient program that they would accept him. So the case was reopened. Had another basis for VOP committed during that time. So the score sheet is the same as was committed in November. But this VOP resolves both violations.
Yeah, Judge, it was my understanding that I received an email from the state that she was going to offer the 48 months DOC, and my client was going to accept that.
So 48 months DOC is the agreement for an admission to the VOP?
That was my understanding, Your Honor, yes.
What else? Anything else on that?
Just credit for time served and the standard fines and court costs.
You went over his rights he's waiving, Mr. Arrowwood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, I have your Jeffrey Gunter.
Yes, sir. Can I speak freely real quick, sir, Your Honor?
Hang on one second. This is 2021 CF 800 State versus Jeffrey Gunter. Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for is course of truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Your client wants to say something, Mr. Arrowwood. Your attorney is appearing by Zoom by special permission from the court, and he's indicated that you want to admit that you violated probation for a 48-month DOC sentence with credit for time served.
Yes, sir. I'm totally okay with accepting the plea deal from the state and everything. I just would like to go over everything with my attorney. I've yet to speak to him because he's been unavailable because of medical issues, from my understanding. I just would like to ask for a continuance for 1 month so that way I can speak with him in person about everything, if that's okay with the state and with my attorney. If not, then, yeah.
Well, Judge, we discussed it. We discussed it. If that's what he wants, I don't have an objection to that. But I mean, he's willing to accept the 48 months. I'm not sure what a month's going to change, but
I mean,
I just want to make sure all my time and everything else like I'm getting from when I was in DOC previously and everything, does that count towards my sentence right now?
yeah, and Judge, I advised him that he gets credit for all time served. Anytime that he's spent on it, he'll get credit.
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to give you credit for time served.
Okay, then, yeah, sweet. Let's do it, Your Honor. Let's run it.
All right. You want to admit that in 2021 CF 800, you want to admit that you violated probation?
I have no other choice but to get behind me, Your Honor. Yes, sir. I freely admit that I've violated probation.
Okay. And are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this admission?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this admission?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
No? No one's forced you?
Oh, no, sir, Your Honor.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Arrowwood's done for you on your case?
Actually, yeah, very happy.
Court's going to accept the admission. It's freely and voluntarily entered. This court's going to revoke and terminate probation, sentence you to 48 months, Department of Corrections, full credit for all time served, standard court costs, fines to, welcome back, to collections. Okay? Good luck to you.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I have a score sheet if I may first.
All right.
Judge, that's all I have. I can be excused.
Yeah. Get well.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Let's see, Mr. Patel, Jay Patel. Morning.
First one I have before the court, Jay Patel on behalf of William Hyde, 23 CF 1265. Judge, at this time I move to continue the case so I can set depositions up.
Find you on this 125-page docket we got here. All right. Okay, Mr. Hyde, so you want a continuance?
To set depots.
Any objection on that?
No, Judge.
April 22nd, thank you.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Sherry Curtis Myers, 23 CF 2740.
Okay.
I was recently retained on this case. I've received paper discovery, but I'm still, I need to get with this prosecutor, ask to see if there's any body camera.
What's your name?
Priscilla Della Torre Otero on behalf of the state,
All right.
and there is no body camera.
Well, Judge, I'll review all the discoveries about this big. I'll review that with my client and then start setting up depositions. Looks like we'll have to do depositions in 3 different counties.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
April 22nd, then.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Eric Aaron Nicholas, 22 CF 2005. Judge, my client has a co-defendant with, is a co-defendant with 2 other individuals. We've completed about 16 depositions, 4 or 5 did not show at that last round, so I need to coordinate with Mr. Shaw and the other lawyer to get the rest done.
No objection.
All right, well, y'all get these done. We gotta get some of these cases to trial or pled. I'm getting cranky like Judge Remington used to get. No continuances under any circumstances. All right, Michael Parks, or is that your next one, Michael?
That's right,
Parks?
Judge. 23F621, if I can set this for docket day, I believe we'll have a resolution.
All right, March 4th.
And then finally, I have a case that I'm working with Mr. Shaw. It's under his name. Last name is Hartzog. First name is Jesse Alexander.
Yeah.
And Judge, in light of the court's previous ruling, we intend to file a second motion to suppress on a slightly different issue. I'm currently working on drafting that. If we can continue this, I should have it filed, and then I'll work with your office in the state to get that set for hearing.
A second motion to suppress on the same case?
But a different issue.
Why didn't y'all put it in the first motion to suppress?
I was hoping that you'd rule in our favor on that first issue.
We can't. You got to argue all your issues at once. We're not going to argue motion to suppress after motion to suppress. If you know the issue, put it in there.
That issue wasn't, I would say that it wasn't as apparent then as it is now.
Is unaware of what the issue is. We'll be ready for the motion to suppress.
I mean, that was a very extensive motion. I took a lot of time reading through it and doing my own research, which is, elite research, and ruled in favor of the state. Now you come up, you want something else? Well, get everything argued, or...
This would be the last motion, Judge.
Okay. All right, April 22nd, then.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yeah. Tricia Graham. Ryan Hardy.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
First case is 23 CF 221, Mr. Timothy Holt. And Your Honor, we want to leave Mr. Holt set on docket day.
Okay. March 4th?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And it should be for plea or trial. I know Mr. Hardy has filed a motion to dismiss yesterday, and I think that can be heard prior to the trial week.
I agree with that.
Okay. All right, so you want to hear it March 4th then, right? Is that what you're saying?
Could we do, can the court hear it on docket day?
But our trial week is March 11th, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And March 18th?
Yes.
Well, what about March 4th?
I'm okay with that, Your
Yes,
Honor.
that's
That's our
fine.
next day, right? Okay, March 4th.
Thank you.
Your Honor, my next case is Jesse Jordan, 23 CF 2135.
Okay.
Jordan is present. Your Honor, I'm going to ask to leave this set plea or trial.
State is ready, Judge.
So this is Jesse Jordan, right? So you'll be coming back on March 4th?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, well, if you can get it worked out, we'll plead him up on March 4th. Otherwise, we'll set it for trial.
Your Honor, my next case is Matthew Kanslamar, 23 CF 2803.
Okay.
We're ready for trial in that case as well.
State is ready, Judge.
All right, how many days you gonna need on that one?
The victim wants to drop the charges, so I don't think very many.
I haven't communicated lately.
We'll
with
talk
her.
to her, we'll talk about it March 4th.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, my last case is Joseph Persley, 22 CF 2212, and I'm going to ask to continue that. The state has no objection.
April 22nd.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Michael Flowers,
Good morning.
morning.
Judge, the first matter, I see it as number 25 on the docket is James George. We're asking for April 22nd.
No, Judge.
Find you here.
Judge, I have it on page 7 of the printout. I don't know if it's the same printout, but it's the one I was furnished.
Let's see, what was the client's name?
George, last name is George, Your Honor.
Well, I have you for a lot of clients, but I don't see that name. Under Jennifer Flowers, oh.
I'm just trying to help her out, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's here, but
I didn't hear that
I don't know
you-
if she'd be able to handle this request.
I didn't know that you said that. Okay, James Mark George, okay. What you want to do?
And
on
I
that?
apologize, George. Judge, April 22nd,
All right, April 22nd.
yes.
Now back to your case.
Back to my case, Judge Chase Brunson.
Okay.
We're asking for April 22nd as well. There's no objection from the state.
All right.
Next matter is Seth Chansey, April 22nd. We'll be filing a motion. The state may or may not traverse prior to that, but we're going to leave it on for April 22nd.
All right.
The state understands. I've talked to the state about that. Next matter is Bonnie Cruz. We're likewise asking for April 22nd. We're hoping we'll have an agreement on several of these matters before
All
then,
right.
but there's no objection.
Yeah.
No objection, Your Honor.
Well, we can move them up. We got
Yes,
some
sir.
times in March to plead if that's what you want to do.
Next matter is Aubrey Flood in the state, and I have reached an agreement in that matter for a deferred prosecution agreement. Ms. Flood is present.
They accepted your offer. They accepted, the time was almost ready to run out, but they accepted finally.
They finally did, Judge. And part of the agreement was a restitution payment. We have a check payable. I have it with me now, Judge. We were going to deposit with the registry of the court, in the
All
clerk's
right.
office.
And yes, Your Honor, and I believe Madam Clerk would need the name of the victim, where the payment should go to, the address and the amount, I guess.
I have that, and I'll be pleased to walk up to the clerk and give it.
All
but
right,
the
we'll do that.
alleged
Well, I
victim-
don't need to take any kind of plea or anything, do I?
No, Your Honor,
No,
because
sir.
upon payment and as soon as it reflects on the court's record, then the state will dismiss the charges.
Okay.
We intend to pay today, Your Honor, so it may be a couple of days before
All
that
right.
clears, but that's what we'll be doing.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, the next matter I have is Tara Hurlbert. Again, that's with Ms. Leon. We're asking for April 22nd. I don't believe she objects to that.
No, Judge.
All right.
Next is Kishira Jackson. That's a case I have with Ms. Sandler, and I think you're handling that for her today.
Yes, she's not objecting to continuing.
Yeah, I think she's asking for permission for the state to take some particular action on this matter. And so we think April 22nd will give the state an opportunity.
We could set it for next Monday docket day. By then, we should have a resolution.
When is that? I apologize.
The 4th.
Docket
March
day, the
4th.
4th?
March 4th, okay.
Very well, Judge. Bond Little, this is a PTI. Discussed with me, Ms. Glisson, putting that on for March 7th for final disposition. I think it's a plea to a PTI, and he has accepted it. And so with the court's permission, we'll be here till...
All right, March 7th.
Yeah. Final matter that I have is David Rodriguez. Can we approach on that, Judge?
You want this off the record?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll put Mr. Rodriguez on April 22nd.
Judge, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to let the clerk know the address.
All right.
And the identity of the victim.
Tim Shaw.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
Canfield. Your Honor, first case I have on the docket is William Riley Canfield. That's 04 CF 2784, which is a VOP, 23 CF 2442, and 2005 CF 1029, which is a VOP. Depositions are currently set for April 23rd. As I understand it, the next pretrial is the 22nd. Let's leave it on. Can we leave it on the 22nd just to be, in case something breaks loose and may be able to get it resolved?
Okay.
Let's leave
April
it on
22nd.
4/22. Next case, Judge, that I have is William Robert Johns. As the court may be aware of this case, there's multiple witnesses, including some experts that are out of state, I think in Utah and Tennessee and
Yes.
California. They're being set, I believe, in May and even looking out to July. I don't mind leaving it on for April 22nd to keep.
Let's just make it June 24th, see how we're doing.
That's fine. June 24th?
Yeah, June, who's on that?
That was Ms.
Sandler?
Michelle Sandler.
All right, June
No
20,
objection.
I understand. June 24th.
Judge, and if I may, and I don't know if you want me to do it now or later, the two co-defendants, both their attorneys are from Tallahassee and had asked that I cover them.
Okay.
If you want me to wait till I'm done and then go back to them, that's fine, or we can.
Yeah, let's do yours first.
All right. Next case, Judge, I have is Thomas Laggett. The VOP on this is 2012 CF 48. The new law violation is 23 CF 2423. Judge, right now we have deposition set, the second round of deposition set on March 5th. I understand the docket day is the 4th or 5th? What day is that?
March 4th.
Let's leave it on for March 4th. It'll be plea or continuance on that date in case we can get some.
All right,
movement.
March 4th.
And I did file a specific discovery request for the state regarding some matters or some documents from the state, the sheriff's office, and I was hoping to, do we have those coming? Okay, thanks. I just needed those for the depots on March 5th.
Okay.
So thank you. All right. Kristen Cole Parker, Your Honor, 22 CF 2702. This is being prosecuted by Matthew Gordon out of Pensacola. I believe he has asked Ms. Leone to cover for him today. There's a stipulated continuance. Depositions are set for March 27th.
That's correct, Your Honor, no objection.
22nd, well, okay. April 22nd, then.
Jonathan Reed Roller, 22 CF 1977 and 22 CF 2047. This is a co-defendant with one of Mr. Patel's clients. It's already been moved to 4/22, so we'd asked to put it on the same date, Judge.
No objection.
All right, 422.
And Judge, if I may go back on another co-defendant of Mr. Roller is Francesco Anthony Stevens. He is represented by Louis Baptiste out of Tallahassee, and we'd ask to put him on 422 as well.
No objection.
All right, 422.
And back to the co-defendants with Mr. Johns. Those are Brandon Hardaway, who's represented by Nathan Prince from Tallahassee. We put him on June 24th.
This is a co-defendant,
Yes, Your Honor.
June 24th.
And Evan Reynolds, who is represented by Stephen Webster in Tallahassee, also co-defendant, June 24th, Judge.
Evan Reynolds, you said?
Yes, Your Honor. E-V-A-N Reynolds.
June 24th.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have, maybe, Chief.
Cheryl Gooden. Morning.
I have, I believe, 5 cases on your docket. The first is Wesley Bertrand, 23 CF 2071. I'm
Okay.
asking to continue it to 422 without objection from the state.
All right. 422.
The next one is Jeremy Kozer, case number, I didn't write the case number down, I'm sorry.
21 CF 2033.
Continue to 422 without objection to the state.
That's the
All right.
The next one is Val Powell, PAL, 422
All
without
right.
objection from the state.
All right.
The last one is 62 Rivera, 22 CF 1214.
Okay.
Why are you in jail?
Because I guess there was a warrant for me giving my middle name and last name, and they put a warrant on me for failure to identify, I guess. I gave them my middle name and last name, and they put a warrant for failure to identify, but my bond was revoked, so I'm now trying to get
Setting for March 4th.
Yes, Your Honor.
There was some incident, I believe, yesterday.
I'm sorry?
There was some incident, I think, yesterday or something, and Judge Ward revoked his bond.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
They just so there was a warrant.
We'll let the state check into it March
Please.
4th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to jail.
Yeah.
So until March 4 continuance.
Right.
Yeah, it was a misdemeanor. They put me for
Okay.
violation
March
of
4th, thank you.
Thank you. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Case Cassie Reed or someone.
Hi, Judge. Good morning. Cassie Reed. I'm covering for
Oh,
Mr.
Cotton.
Cotton this morning.
Okay.
And I believe he's got 2 cases on the court's docket. The first case is an inmate, Stephen Jamison. That's going to be 21 CF 1042. And Judge, Mr. Cotton is asking for a 1-cycle continuance. I believe he has talked to Ms. Barrickman, and there is no objection.
April 22nd.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the last case, I believe the court, that Mr. Cotton has on the court's docket is Akeem Gray. That's 23 CF 2804. Your Honor, if it's not on the court's docket, that is because a written plea agreement was filed to misdemeanors, and I think that we were just waiting on the court's signature to have that filed. That's a part of the court record.
All right, well, I've got it on the docket, but I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, should we just set it for a status to make sure it comes off?
We can set it for next week, but I believe we submitted that to Ms. Gary on Friday, so you should.
All right, we'll set it for March 4th. If it's there, I'll
Just for
sign it. Yeah.
Thank you. Great. Okay. And that's all I have, Judge. May I be
All right.
excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have Miss Ms. Tracy Coffey here with us today?
Good morning, Your Honor. Tracy Robinson Coffey on behalf of Tony Allen. It's 21-1988. He's in custody. Mr. Allen is present, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, we're going to announce that we're ready for trial. However, I do have two preliminary matters I wanted to discuss with the court. I did file a motion earlier this month, and I was hoping that we could address it maybe on your miscellaneous docket on the 7th. Secondly, I know you have 2 trial weeks, and I'm not really sure what your procedure is. Is there any way to tell which week we would be going? Or
We'll have to decide that on March 4th docket day.
that's the 4th docket day? Okay.
Yeah, March 4th.
Okay.
So we got March 11th and March
18th,
18th.
right.
And so we'll discuss the trial week on March 4th docket day and talk about how many days you need. And
Sure.
Is the state agreeable to March 4th docket day? How many witnesses we're going to have? Or how many days do you think to try this case?
Probably 1 full day of testimony.
1 to 2, no more than 2.
Okay, well, that we should have no problem getting Mr. Allen to trial this time. If he wants to go to trial, we'll be ready to go.
Okay.
But still come back on March 4th, okay?
And the motion.
Oh, I haven't seen it. It has to be set. See, I don't, unless it's set on the docket, I really don't, it doesn't come before me.
Right, so can I set it for, I know
You
you
set
have
it
a
for March
miscellaneous
4th if you
on the
want.
7th?
Oh, March 7th, how about that?
I mean, I can do the 4th if you,
I'd rather have it, is it going to be dispositive of the case? Is that what the motion is? Or is a motion in limine or something?
I don't
or-
think it's dispositive, but I think after the expert, I don't know if you remember this case, this is the case with the experts, it's the phone records, and he was finally able to get the download, but the motion is requesting, based on his findings, he wants to be able to download it himself. He wants access to the phone himself. So he,
I don't understand what well, we'll argue the motion whenever
Right,
it
I
is.
want-
We'll say March 4th.
4th, is that 9 o'clock?
Yeah,
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Robinson Coffey, just to clarify, the motion you're setting is the motion for rehearing and second motion for the inspection of objects filed 2-4.
Mr. Switek? All right, come on up. Ms. Graham? Usually he's not that nice to other attorneys. That's
Thank you.
surprising, but,
I
okay.
missed it earlier. I was talking to
I
my
got
client.
you.
My
Okay.
apologies. Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Tricia Graham on behalf of Vance Gordon Mitchell, who's in custody. And Your Honor, we've entered a resolution in this matter. May I just have a moment for my client to sign? We've already discussed
Yeah.
everything.
Okay.
And Your Honor, this plea is going to include a lesser included of count 1, but because it's not an automatic, category 1 lesser included, the state would just make an oral motion to orally amend count 1 for the statute to reflect 499.0 3 subsection 1, which is a second-degree misdemeanor. So instead of possession of a controlled substance, the plea to count 1 is to possession of a prescription medication without a
Is it on
prescription.
there?
May I approach the
All right.
statute and amend that it's on there?
And then it'll be plea is charged to counts 2 and 3.
All right, this is State of Florida versus Vance Gordon Mitchell, 23 CF 1054. Mr. Mitchell, would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's true, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
And you want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of count 1, charge of possession of drugs without a prescription, a second-degree misdemeanor, I believe, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then count 2, driving with license suspended or revoked, habitual, a third-degree felony. And count 3, possession of drug paraphernalia, first-degree misdemeanor. You want to enter a no contest plea to those charges, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Graham's done for you on your case?
It's a great attorney, Your Honor.
Okay. Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. You're judged guilty on all counts, all cases. Sentenced to credit for time served concurrent, correct, on all cases, all counts?
Correct, Your Honor.
Standard court cost, $500 fine, $50 cost of prosecution, and the state's going to take no action on a failure to appear on this case, correct?
Correct.
All right, so he should be, unless there's a hold, he should be getting out today, I would think. Is that
Yes, sir.
credit for time served? Yeah.
There is a hold. Thank you.
You've been in front of me a couple of times, 2 or 3 several times. It's about time you just start obeying the law, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, for the record, the failure to appear was on October 30th before my appointment. And also, that state is taking no action on that. And there was a defendant filed a motion for a Feretta hearing for the previous attorney. That was before my appointment. He's taking no action on that, and that's
All
me.
right, so no action on the Feretta. Well, you already said you're happy that with Ms. Graham and that she was great, so, okay?
That was a prior attorney, not her, Your Honor.
I know.
Yes, sir.
So you're good?
I'm good.
All right, good, thank you. Don't break the law. You may not have a kind-hearted judge like I am in the future.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yeah. Mr. Switek?
Kind-hearted, and I'm kind-hearted.
That's why I have all these people here. Don't come to my court.
I've got 2 cases this morning. Luis Lopez, 22 CF 1418. No.
Let's see, okay, Luis Lopez. All right, what you want to do on Mr. Lopez?
Your Honor, we forwarded over to Ms. Basile about 1,000 pages of discovery, which she's been unable to open, so we have to resend it the old-fashioned way on a CD. I think she needs time to get through that before we can get to trial. It is in a trial posture.
So you've just given thousands of pages of discovery, is that what you said?
About 1,000.
April 22nd. I got you. April 22nd.
Okay. Then I've got Edgar Nunez, which is 21 CF 1005.
Okay.
That's in a trial posture. We'd like to do that back-to-back with Mr. Lopez if Ms. Basile doesn't have an
Are they
objection.
co-defendants or, no, they couldn't be co-defendants. Who's his,
Nunez, N-U-N-E-Z.
is that going to be, well, all right, April 22nd. Thank you.
Judge. That's all I've got this morning.
Thank you. We got any other private attorneys out there that I can't see Mr. Gilbert.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
First case is Dakota Coffee in 23 CF 2767 and 2768. It's the first time up. We request continuance.
Dakota Coffee, all right, April 22nd.
Good. Next case is Gary Gordley in 23 CF 1887. We have a waiver on file. We're working with Santa Rosa. This was a flee and elude. We've gotten the drug and alcohol results back negative, so I need to coordinate with Santa Rosa for a joint plea, basically. So I request a continuance. We're
April
working on
22nd.
solving that next cycle. Next case, Joseph Hawthorne in 23 CF 2648, waiver on file, first time up. We have depots set for March 6th, request continuance.
April 22nd.
Michael McDonald, 23 CF 2181, waiver on file. We'd like to leave that set with no subs for a PTI.
You want to go March 7th?
No objection.
March 7th.
Next is David Settles, 23 CF 2021. We'd also like to leave that set without. I've got an offer and I'm sitting down with him to see if it'll be good.
March 7th.
March 7th?
Is that enough time for you, Mr.
Be good.
March 7th.
Then Harold Winkles in 23 CF 2798, waiver on file. First time up, request continuance.
No objection.
April 22nd.
And finally, covering for Mr. Dees, Lara Fernandez in 23 CF 2602. There's a waiver on file. He requests a continuance for control. He anticipates a written plea to a misdemeanor in before then.
Want to go with March 28th?
That would be fine, Jim.
All right, March 28th.
Very good. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Very good,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Rory.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, David Rare. And Judge, my case will probably be under the Lupella firm, L.
All right, go ahead.
And Judge, first I've got is Kevin Bowles.
Okay.
Bowles. And Judge, we have depositions set for Friday at 11. I'd like to ask for a final continuance for us to get through those.
No objection.
April 22nd. If you're going to work out a plea, move it up.
Understood. Next judge I've got is Ms. Laura Wells. She's present and approaching, Judge. We do have an agreement to resolve her case.
Ms. Wells, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for us court's the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. All right, this is State of Florida versus Laura Wells, 23 CF 1744. You want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of possession of a controlled substance, third-degree felony, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with your work your attorneys have done for you on your case?
Absolutely.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, adjudicates you guilty, 615 court costs, sentence you to credit for time served.
Thank you, Your Honor.
May she have 90 days to pay the clerk?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
90 days, or it goes
Thank you,
to a
Your Honor.
judgment. Thank you.
And Judge, that's all I've got, but I do have a case I'm covering for Keith Kilpatrick.
Okay.
And I think he just has one on the docket, Judge. His case is Jamie Bernard, 23 CF 2264. And my notes were that he was requesting a continuance for one cycle in this case.
No objection, Your Honor.
David Michael Wassar, right? April
No,
22nd.
Judge, it was Jamie Bernard. For Keith Kilpatrick.
Oh, Keith, not Jeremy Keach.
No, Keith Kilpatrick,
Okay,
Judge.
I
Sorry.
misheard you. All right, that's Jamie Bernard, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
April 22nd.
Perfect, and that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. What's up? Now we got you, right? Okay. Which one you got, Mr. Keach?
I have a few. First one on your dock would be Frederick Caruthers. He's got 3 cases.
All right. Frederick Caruthers.
We're going to do, is he here? I'll take care. While they're waiting to bring up Frederick Caruthers, Your Honor, if we could skip ahead to Alfred Collis, 23 CF 607.
Alfred Collis.
Correct. He's an inmate. He was not brought over. We have deposition scheduled for April 8th. If we can move him to your April 22nd pretrial.
No objection, Judge.
All right, April 22nd.
Correct. Good to go.
Frederick Lee Caruthers.
Ready to go? Judge, we have a written offer of plea for his 3 cases, if I may approach.
Mr. Caruthers, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is State of Florida versus Frederick Caruthers, 22 CF 3038, 23 CF 755, 23 CF 798.
Correct.
Let's see. All right, I think I've got it here.
Would the court want me to announce it?
Well, let me try here. And in 22 CF 3038, Mr. Caruthers is going to plead no contest to possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Correct?
That is correct. Charges constructive possession, and then count 1, the ag assault would be dismissed in that case.
Right. Count 1 will be dismissed. And then in 23 CF 755, you're pleading to count 1, burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery.
He's pleading to a lesser included offense of trespassing in that case, Your Honor.
755, let's see. Yes. Trespassing. Boy, that went down from a first punishable by life to trespassing, correct?
Correct.
Rather impressive work, legal work. So anyway, in 23 CF 755, count 2, and 23 CF 798, count 1 are going to be dismissed, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you understand that, Mr. Caruthers?
Sir.
You want to enter this plea as the court's just announced?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Did you read and sign this form? You understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
Sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or medication that prevents you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Keats has done for you on your case?
Sir, I am.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. In 22 CF 3038, count 2, is you are sentenced to 11 months, 29 days in Okaloosa County Jail, credit for all time served, no probation to follow, $615 fines and court costs, $150 legal assistance fee reduced to a civil judgment, lien, and sent to collections. In 23 CF 755, count 1, you're sentenced to 7 months Okaloosa County Jail consecutive with 22 CF 3038 with credit for time served, no probation to follow, $270 fines and court costs, $100 legal assistance fee reduced to civil judgment, lien, and sent to collections. And in 23 CF 755 and 23 CF 798, count 2 of 755 and count 1 of 798 are dismissed. So it looks like you just ended up with some county jail time.
Sir.
Okay?
Your Honor, I'm going to provide the score sheet in
All right.
the next few minutes.
How much time have you served in jail already?
I think I've been here 13 months.
13? Well, you're just about ready to get out.
Yes, sir.
So good luck to you and don't break the law, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
A judge guilty on all cases. Got that score sheet somewhere?
I'm going to provide them right away, Your Honor.
All right.
In a second.
Next.
Your next on your docket will be State of Florida versus Christina Creech, 23 CF 2697. As he approaches the podium, I have a written offer of plea to submit.
All right, this is 23 CF 2697, State versus Christina Creech. Ms. Creech, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court's the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You want to enter a no contest plea to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and count 2, possession of paraphernalia, first-degree misdemeanor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign his plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes,
You
sir.
understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Keats has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. You are adjudged guilty on both counts. Sentenced to time served in county jail, no probation to follow, $615 fines and court costs, $150 legal assistance fee and is imposed, and all are reduced to a civil judgment, lien, and sent to collections. So, and court's ordering you not to break the law in the future. Thank you.
Step over here to see Steve.
Let's see, Mr. Keats, you got some more?
Yes, sir. The next one on your docket would be State of Florida versus Christian Alexander Douglas. He's an inmate. And Judge, Mr. Douglas is before the court in 23 CF 111. We have more depositions to conduct. I spoke with the state on that, so if we can move it to the next pretrial date so we can get those.
No objection.
Oh, you want to set it for trial? You're waiving, you don't need any depositions or anything? Okay, well, let's set it for trial then.
All right, so what we'll do is March, this is also a, let me make sure I got this right. This is Mr. Douglas, correct?
Correct.
How many days you think we're going to need on this?
Probably 2 with jury selection.
2 days?
Yes, Judge.
We'll set it for March 4th docket day and see,
Yes.
get it scheduled
That's
in
fine.
March. Okay?
All right.
Very good, thank you.
All right. Okay, I'll go, all right, but I can't do it right now. Go back there. Okay. Judge, next on the docket would be State of Florida versus Ernest Goodman.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Judge, this is Ernest Goodman in 20 CF 2967, 21 CF 971, and 22 CF 2601. I have a written offer of plea to resolve his cases, if I may approach.
Mr. Goodman, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court's the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Keach, come up here. I want to
Yes, sir.
help me with this. This ink is run together. I can't tell. All right, Mr. Goodman, you want to enter a no contest plea in 20 CF 2967, count 3, and in 20 CF 2967, count 4. Those are violation of probations, correct? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Keach, is that correct?
Correct. He's admitting to the violations of probation in the 2 older cases.
And then that's 21 CF 971. You're admitting that you violated probation on that also, correct? And then in 22 CF 2601, you're pleading to possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and constructive possession, which is a second-degree felony. And then in counts 1, 3, and 4 in 22 CF 2601 are going to be dismissed, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's correct.
Okay. So you understand all that, Mr.?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this admission and this plea?
Yes, sir, I do.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Keats has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir, very.
Court finds the admission and plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Court's going to revoke and terminate probation in 20 CF 2967 and 21 CF 971. Adjudicate guilty on all remaining counts and cases in case 20 CF 2967 count 3, 20 CF 2967 count 4, 21 CF 971 count 1, and 22 CF 2601 count 2. You're sentenced to 33 months Florida Department of Correction on each case and each count. They shall run concurrently and coterminously with one another. You'd receive credit for time served for 626 days, Okaloosa County Jail. And that is, credit is to be applied to each case and each count. And in 20 CF 2967, $100 VOP fee and $150 legal assistance fee. In 21 CF 971, $100 VOP fee and $100 legal assistance fee. In 22 CF 2601, should be 01, right? Not 011, correct?
01, I apologize.
01, 615 fines and court costs and $100 legal assistance fee, all reduced to civil lien and sent to collections. And counts 1, 3, and 4 in 22 CF 2601 are all dismissed by the state, or they'll be filing a null pros. So he is not going to be put on any kind of probation, correct?
Correct.
And he's basically getting 33 months, Department of Corrections with, looks like almost or right around 2 years credit.
It's about 21 months.
So you'll probably get out very, very quickly, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so stay out of trouble when you get
Yes, sir.
out,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, same with this, we had to make changes to the plea agreement,
Gotcha.
and I need to do the score sheet.
Next.
Your Honor, next on your docket will be State of Florida versus Philip Lee, 20 CF 2658.
Philip Lee, 20 CF 2658.
And Judge, we can leave this case set for trial. It's on
Okay.
docket day for March 4th.
Pardon? How many days you think?
Probably a day.
March 4th docket day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. On one of these trial weeks, I forget, I think it's March 18th. What I think I'm gonna do is pick these juries all on Monday, March 11th, and then March 18th, we'll start that trial on a Monday, that's a Monday, on that afternoon. Okay? That's the way I'm thinking. I gotta have some surgery done and, so.
And Judge, next on your docket would be State of Florida versus James Terrell or Terrell, 20 CF 21 CF 1577 and 21 CF 924.
Okay.
Terrell.
Yeah. Off the record or on the record?
It'll be on the record.
Okay.
Here.
March 4th. March 4th. We're going to bring you back on March 4th. There's a doctor's report I need to look at, okay? Thank you.
And Judge, the final inmate on your docket or client on your docket would be State of Florida versus David Weezar.
Okay.
Now, this is Miss Glisson's case.
She went to grab the score sheet from the next door.
Judge, if we could just move him to March 4th. It's not going to be a trial that cycle, but if we could just place, I need to get with Ms. Glisson and review some things with her.
All right, March 4th.
And just
Thank
for
you.
Clear continuance. Okay. All right. Yes, sir. It's a week. That concludes my business, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Nettle, you got just 3 cases? You have 3 cases?
I have 2 cases. What's the third? I got Rogan and Dodd. I have a
Oh, I'm sorry, you've got, yeah, that's right. You got 2 cases.
3 cases, two.
Yeah, come on up.
One's prosecutor. We're fine.
Nigel Rogan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Judge, we reached a plea agreement with Mr. Rogan. He would be pleading as charged.
All right, this is 23 CF 1801, State versus Nigel Rogan. Mr. Rogan, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court's the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And Mr. Rogan would be adjudicated. He would be sentenced to credit time served on both counts. $100 cost of prosecution, $515 of court costs.
All right, State of Florida versus Nigel Rogan, 23 CF 1801. You want to enter a plea to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and possession of marijuana less than 20 grams of first-degree misdemeanor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
You aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Nettles has done for you on your case?
Sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentenced to credit for time served on both counts concurrent, $100 cost prosecution, $515 court costs, 180 days to pay these costs before they're sent to a judgment.
Sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Neal.
Oh, hang on one second. We got a count 3.
Dallas Dodd.
No, we got count 3, narcotic possession and use.
There's only 2 counts as far as I know, Judge.
We got 3 counts. What's the state gonna do? Dismiss count 3?
One moment, Your Honor. Should be adjudicate credit time served to all counts.
Hang on. We gotta bring Mr. Rogan back. Mr. Rogan? Steve, we gotta bring Mr. Rogan back.
Step off to the side, Dallas. Oh, there's possession of paraphernalia. My fault, Judge.
There's a third count, Mr. Rogan. You pled to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and possession of marijuana, a first-degree misdemeanor. There's apparently a third count,
Possession of paraphernalia. Judge.
possession of paraphernalia, which I think is a second-degree.
It's a first-degree misdemeanor.
First-degree misdemeanor. If you want to plead to that, I'm going to give you the exact same sentence concurrent.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that is count 3.
Bag for the marijuana.
All right, on count 3, I'm judge you guilty and sentence you to time served concurrent with counts 1 and 2. And I don't think there's any increase in the fines or, we'll just, okay, concurrent time. Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right.
Judge, this is Dallas Dodd. He's got 2 cases before the court. 21 CF 2383, 23 CF 1111.
All right, Dallas Dodd.
Mr. Dodd is ready to enter a plea today. We've reached an agreement. I think Ms. Leone does not want to go forward today. She said The victim wanted to be here.
All
I don't
right.
know why she's not here. This has been, we've had reached this agreement almost 2 weeks ago. I don't know why she couldn't be here today.
I think that this is kind of out of Miss Leone's hand. The victim wants to be here, they got a right to be here, correct?
She specifically asked me that, and
What
she
about-
couldn't be here today.
March 4th.
That's fine for her to stay.
Do it March 4th.
Let me look at my calendar, Judge. 90 miles round trip for me.
Yeah, but you're a high money-making power lawyer.
Yeah.
You can afford it.
That's this coming Monday. That'll work.
I'm glad that we could accommodate you. All right, March 4th. All right, I think we've been going over about an hour and 40 minutes, so we'll take about a 20-minute break. Thank you.
All rise, please.
Where's the inmate sheet?
All right, I'll see you on Monday.